Morrowind has a ton of guilds and factions you can join, and that's not even counting the main quest. But what happens if you explore the island without joining a guild? Can you run across quests on your own? Why, yes. Yes, you can. There are hundreds of quests in Morrowind and dozens of unmarked and miscellaneous quests. Some of them have amazing rewards. So, today I thought we would explore the unmarked and miscellaneous quests of Morrowind. It might be worth noting that not all of these quests will have any kind of note in your journal, so you may not even know it's a quest. Now, why don't we start in the starting zone of the game, Seyda Neen and the surrounding areas. After your ship docks in Seyda Neen, you are forced to go ashore, register yourself, gather your release papers, and retrieve a package addressed to you, and then you are sent on your merry way. But right before you speak with Celes Gravius, in fact, right outside his door, you will see a barrel. You are heavily encouraged to search the barrel, and inside you will find a ring called the Engraved Ring of Healing. You can leave the area and are thrown out into the world, and one of the first people you will see upon exiting is a small bosmer by name of Fargoth. We can approach the diminutive wood elf, and he says, "Are you the one that the boat dropped off? Ought to see a boat arrive at that time of the day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring." "Interesting. We just found a ring. We can inquire further. Tell me about this ring, friend." "I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week before the weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring, a family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you?" he asks, hopefully. I mean, we just got in town, but at this point we can lie and say no, sorry, never seen a ring like that in my life, never seen any ring in my life. But the reward is better if we return it. Plus, we can continue this story. If we return the ring, the overjoyed little fellow will exclaim, "You found it! Amazing! Thank you! Thank you! You are now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now."
To what do I owe the honor, Nord?
And so ends the quest, Fargoth's Ring. Let's go see this Ariel. Ariel runs the only shop in town, so it's a good thing that we have ourselves a discount with him. Upon greeting him, he tells us he sells some popular potions and scrolls and offers to give us a little advice. We'll agree. We ask him what the latest word is around town, and he tells us that Riskar, upstairs, is having some financial troubles. Sounds like this guy is a gambler who has hit a spell of bad luck. Going up the stairs, we meet this Riskar. Riskar Flatfoot is his name. If we greet him, he'll say, "You look like you could use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend. I'd like you to help me recover some gold." "All right, we're new in town. Let's see what this is about. Tell me more about this gold, Riskar." "That's right. See, I had a bad run of luck playing 9 holes and lost a bit of money. Normally, I'd be fine. We can usually keep some gold in our pockets just from the money the locals pay us for protection. But I know some of them are holding out on me, especially that little fetcher Fargoth. He's come up light the last couple of weeks when I've shaken him down. I know he's stashing it somewhere. I'd like to find Fargoth's hiding place." Ooh, Fargoth, hey. Well, tell us more about this hiding place. I know the little fetcher's got one somewhere in town, just not sure where yet. I've already gone through his whole house, so I know he's not hiding it there. I'd like you to find out where he's stashing his gold. If you can, I'll give you a share of the wealth. Are you up for it? Well, Fargoth was nice to us, so if we say no, the quest ends. However, the reward and full resolution only occurs if we say, sure, I'll do it. Excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I'm not sure where he goes, but I know he wanders around at night. Watch his movements. The best vantage point is on top of the lighthouse south of town. That will give you a view of all of Seyda Neen. If you keep an eye on where he goes, I'm sure you'll be able to find out where he's hiding that gold. We will need to head to the top of the Seyda Neen lighthouse, as Riskar instructed. At some point in the night, typically after 10 p.m., Fargoth will crouch into a sneak and casually wander around town. If we watch him long enough, he will make it to a small, hollowed-out tree stump in the middle of this pool of water in the middle of town. He stands there for a while and sneaks away. Once he is far enough away, we can head down and investigate. Inside we see the engraved ring of healing, a lockpick, and 300 septums. We can return to our real straight house and speak with Riskar, or we can keep the gold to ourselves, but to finish the quest, we must return the gold. Hey, Riskar, I found Fargoth's stash. You found his hiding place? That's great. Tell you what, I'll give you 100 gold and you can keep anything else you found in there. Thanks for your help. If we ask further about Fargoth's hiding place, Riskar reveals that he likes to pick on Fargoth by taking something from his house and hiding it in the old barrel in the courtyard. So it looks like Riskar here is the one that hid the engraved ring of healing in the first place. What a jerk. And with that ends the quest, Fargoth's hiding place. Walking around town on another rainy day, we ask one of the locals, Indrella Rathrion, what the word is around town, and she will say, I've heard that the local tax collector, Processus Vitellius, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here. Well, the Bitter Coast region is not the most hospitable, with slaughterfish swimming in the water, nick sounds on the land, and nasty, stagnant water probably full of diseases dotting the landscape. It would hardly be surprising if he ended up drowned, eaten, or worse. But she did make it seem like perhaps it wasn't natural causes. I mean, who likes a tax collector? Am I right? Well, we can just go about our business, and if we make our way to the northeast of town, around the water, we will actually discover a body. Approaching it, we see that this is the body of Processus Vitellius. Checking his person, we find that he has two things of note on him. First, he has 200 drakes. Second, he has the tax records for the town of Seyda Neen. Indeed, we can see everyone in town who paid, how much, and who still owes. Our journal updates. I found a corpse while traveling near Seyda Neen. It seems to be the corpse of one Processus Vitellius, based on some items found on his body. He is carrying a parchment with what looked like tax records. He also had 200 gold on his body, probably taxes he had collected. Now, nothing at this point indicates foul play. Indeed, it would seem like he died of natural causes. If it had been a robbery, why leave the gold? Well, we should probably report this to someone in town. Once we get back, a new dialogue option will be available for the folks living here. Telling Fargoth about the murder of Processus Vitellius, he says, "Found his body, huh? Well, it's up to you what to do with that information. I suppose Secusius Ergala in the Census and Excise Office would be the one to tell, if that's your inclination." An odd way to put it, but even the guards say the same thing. This man was truly hated in this town, wasn't he? Well, we can report the finding of the body to Secusius Ergala as suggested, and he exclaims, "Murdered? What a waste. Processus was a good man. I had been wondering why we hadn't heard from him in a few days. Still, these are dangerous times we live in, and these sorts of things will happen." Anyway, did you happen to find the tax money he'd collected? I hate to be so callous, but I have a job to do. Well, tell him no at this point. We'll end the quest. Secusius will assume he was murdered and robbed, and that will be the end. However, the full story can only be discovered if we tell the truth. Yes, it was odd. I found 200 septums on his body. You did? How odd that he was murdered but not robbed. Your honesty is appreciated. I can tell you that. I won't forget this. In fact, if you're looking for some money for yourself, I'd like to see the murderer of Processus punished. Killing an emperor's tax collector is punishable by death. Find this murderer, bring him to justice, and the Census and Excise Office will pay you 500 septums. Great! That's more money than if we had kept the tax funds to ourselves. Honesty is the best policy, I suppose. Our journal updates. I told Secusius the truth about the 200 gold and tax money I found on the corpse of Processus. He seemed impressed with my honesty, but confused as to why someone would murder Processus but not take his money. If I can find out who has done this and execute the murderer, Secusius has promised to pay me 500 gold. Heading back outside, we can ask any of the townsfolk about what they know. Inderel Rathrion, the person who told us Processus was missing in the first place, will chuckle and say, "Somebody finally got to him, huh? Well, it's no surprise, I suppose. No one likes a tax collector, especially one who flaunts his wealth while taking our hard-earned cash. Yep, only one who could stomach him at all was Thavir over in the lighthouse. The two of them spent some time together. Shame, really. She seemed like a nice woman." Our journal then updates, "I've asked around town about the murder of Processus Vitellius. It seems he wasn't a popular person in general, which is no surprise, considering he was a tax collector. Some have suggested I speak with Thavir Vedrano, the lighthouse keeper, as she seemed to have some relationship with him." We head into the lighthouse and speak with Thavir. And being an Ord, we break the news bluntly. So, Processus Vitellius, he was murdered. Word is you knew him?" "Processus murdered? No. Tell me it is not so. He was the gentlest man I've ever met. He and I had become close. in the past few months. I don't know what I will do without him. I've only seen him get angry once or twice and never raised a hand at anyone. This is so sad. What do you mean, get angry? Who did he get angry with? Well, not even angry, I suppose. I saw him arguing once with Foreign Gilneth about his taxes. He thought processes had been levying too much and skimming off the top for himself. Ridiculous. Processes would never have done such a thing, I'm sure of it. Please find out what happened, friend. And if you find out what became of Process's ring, it would ease my heart. His ring, we ask? Well, we know he did not have a ring on him when we found him. I gave him the ring many months ago, and it was dear to him. I would like it to remember him by. With this, we get a journal update. Thavir Vidrano has mentioned to me an argument that Processes had been having with Foreign Gilneth. Apparently, there was some disagreement about the money Gilneth owed and how much he had really been making with his fishing. Checking the tax records once more, we can see that Foreign Gilneth owed 225 gold in taxes and had not paid. In fact, out of all the people who had not paid, he owed the most. 225 gold is nothing to sneeze at, so looks like we have our number one suspect.
Quickly, Outlander, or go away.
Foreign Gilneth lives in a small shack right in front of Fargoth's hiding place. If we enter, we can ask him bluntly, "What do you know about the murder of Processes Vitellius?" That fetcher. You're damn right I did him in. And a good thing, too. He was skimming a load of money from all of us honest people, overcharging us on our taxes and keeping the difference for himself. He was always flaunting his money around, showing off his new clothes and jewels. So I killed the bastard and left his body out there to rot with all his ill-begotten gold still on him. Quite the confession. And now we have a choice. It seems there is a chance that Processes was skimming off the top. Multiple people have told us so. Thavir was probably blinded by her affection to the man. But does that excuse this crime? Now, we can tell Foreign that we believe him and that we will not report him to the authorities. This is inconclusive. It does not close out the quest, and at any point we can change our minds and execute the murderer. However, we say, even if you are telling the truth, it does not excuse you for your crime, and your fate has been sealed. Oh, you're one of them, huh? Come to kill me? Well, give it your best shot, Nord. I've no problem spilling more of the blood of the Emperor's lackeys. And a fight to the death begins. Foreign fights only with bare fists, so if we do not take too many hits, this is an easy fight.
You will die.
On his body, we find 8 septums and, yes, Processes Vitellius' ring. We can return to Secusius Ergala after writing in our journal. Gilneth killed Processes. Of this, there is no doubt. He admits it openly and seems not in the least bit ashamed of it. Gilneth contends that Processes was corrupt, as are all the employees in the Census and Excise office. He claims that Processes was attempting to gouge him on taxes that were levied and was taking a cut for himself, spending it on new jewelry and the like. But even if it were true, it is no excuse for murder. Reporting back to Secusius, he says, I heard you had been asking around about his murder. I'm glad to see this matter brought to its completion. Here's your reward. Good to see there are still some citizens who understand their loyalty to our emperor. And we receive the 500 gold bounty. But the matter has not been brought to its completion yet. We have to return the ring to Thavir. Back at the lighthouse, we give her the good news that we found her ring. Oh, you found the ring I gave him. Thank you so much. It's good to have something to remember him by, though I'll never see him again. Here, take this. He usually traveled with a couple when he was doing his job, but he didn't this last time. If only he had.
My time is
And we
precious,
receive
so make it
3
quick.
standard restore health potions. Not bad. And so ends the quest, Death of a Taxman. Walking around Seyda Neen, specifically walking north then northwest out of town, on a beautiful and rare sunny day, we hear a scream. Looking up, we see a strange sight, a well-dressed figure falling from the sky, hitting the ground. The sound of crunching bone and splattering sinew as the body hits the ground. Among the carnage, we see the corpse of a wood elf. On his person, we find an iron spark sword, some fancy clothes, a handful of coins, and 3 scrolls of a spell called a Carrion Flight. It seems these scrolls will fortify our acrobatics for 1,000 points for 7 seconds. That's incredible. Next to the body, we find a book, a journal, it seems. I believe I may have found the correct formula for the spell I am developing. With it, I will be able to travel great distances without the need to pay others for the service. If all goes well, I will test out the new spell tomorrow. I believe I have worked out all of the possible complications. It will allow me to leap great distances covering many hundreds of miles. Never before has one been able to travel in this manner, vaulting from the ground, sailing through the sky, all without that terrible disorientation of a spell of flying. The time is almost upon me. My research is finished, and all of my calculations are checked and rechecked. They laughed at me when I suggested this. Well, we'll see who laughs after I leap to the top of their towers and scream out my success. It seems that this Bosmer, by name of Tarheel, was trying to develop a spell that would allow him to leap great distances. But what went wrong? Now, we can try out one of these scrolls. It's actually quite impressive. We can indeed almost fly through the air. However, there is one oversight. The duration does not let us land safely. You see, we will die if we use only one scroll. Sure, we can jump great distances, but once we land, we die. It looks like that's what happened to Tarheel. We will have to waste 2 scrolls every time we jump. No, we had better not use these. Let's save them and either sell them or use them in conjunction with like a spell of slow fall or something similar. Anyway, that's the full story of the quest, A Falling Wizard.
Yes.
I think we can all agree that we have spent enough time in Seyda Neen. It's time to leave. As we prepare to make our way out of town, we catch the eye of one of the few people we have not chatted with so far, Vidunius Nucius.
Go ahead, stranger.
Greeting him, he says, "Yes, what do you want? If you're looking to get out of Seyda Neen, I'll be happy to give you a little advice." "Alright," we say. "What's the word?" "Huh. New here. Take the Silstrider to Vivek, or Balmora. Fast and cheap, no trouble with wild animals, and smugglers, and bandits, and outlaws. Go see Darvaim, Laren, over at the Silstrider port, over the bridge, and east along the water, and tell her Vidunius Nucius sent you." Well, what a friendly fellow. That is exactly what we want to do.
Yes.
We can head up to the Silstrider, these giant bugs that are used for transportation here in
Where would you like to
Vardenfell,
go?
and speak with the Silstrider caravaner. Darvaim Laren. Vadunius Nucius sent me, we say. Oh yes, he steers business my way, and I do him a little favor now and then. Poor fellow. I don't think he's very happy here in Morrowind. Interestingly, our journal updates. Darvaim Laren mentioned that she didn't think Vadunius Nucius was happy here. Let's go back and talk to him and see what exactly he isn't happy about. Once we reach him and we ask him, he says, "Not happy here. In fact, no, I'm not. If I had 100 drakes, I'd be on the next boat to Narcissus. I came here to make my fortune, and all I've got is this cursed ring. Say, would you give me the 100 drakes for it? The ring itself is worth more than that, but the enchantment is cursed, and no one will buy it from me. It has a nifty little enchantment that helps you run faster. Problem is, it sucks the blood right out of you every time you use it. Please, you'll be doing me a great favor." Well, we have gotten a bit of gold doing some questionable things around town, such as stealing from someone who trusted us, so we can give him the gold. Now, turning down the quest, or if you don't have enough gold, doesn't end the quest. You can always return to him with the gold at a later time. But if you do give him the gold, thank you. You are a lifesaver. I will grab the next boat out of here. Thanks again, and I hope your luck here is better than mine was. Yes, I think it will be. Our journal updates. I bought a cursed ring from Vadunius Nucius, so he would have enough gold to leave Morrowind. I hope I have better luck with the ring and with my adventures in Morrowind than he did. Now, the ring itself is useless, and it does not fetch more than 100 gold, despite what he said. We can sell it and offset our loss somewhat, but it will not make our 100 gold back from Ariel, and not even close. And once we come back outside, Vadunius is gone, presumably on his way back to Narcissus, and then to some place outside of the Morrowind he hated so much. Perhaps back to his home in the Imperial Province. And so ends the quest, Vadunius Nucius. And so ends this episode of Lore and Loot Morrowind, where we explored the Unmarked and Miscellaneous quests in Seyda Neen and the surrounding regions. Please join me for the next episode of Lore and Loot. If you enjoy Morrowind lore, please consider subscribing. Until next time.